The first card you have your past is the Ten of Wands. So this is a really, I'm seeing you trying to push something but not really getting very far. This is a very frustrating card, and I'm really feeling this frustration in that. I think you might have been feeling quite emotional about something, and I think you might have been trying to tell someone something or get your point across to someone, and I don't think you were able to do that. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I'm just seeing someone talking to you in a kind of a business-like way, or talking about the facts of something, sort of like, this will happen on this date, the meeting will be on this date, and then we'll do that on this date, something like that. There was no emotion in what they were saying. It was a bit robotic, and the subject you were talking about, you were trying to get across to them, and they were talking to you as well. It was kind of a two-way conversation, but your end was very frustrating, and I think you were trying to say to them that you had a lot of emotion about this, you had a lot of feelings around this subject. It might have been something that was around some memories between you, or some decision that they were making that involved some past memories, if that makes sense. It might not make any sense to you, I don't know, but that's just what I'm seeing. I think this is someone who you had a past with. You might have had deep feelings for this person at one time. They might have had deep feelings for you at one time, but not at this time. This is kind of like, it might be that at the tail end of sorting something out with them, you were quite emotional about this. Again, I keep seeing that, but they were quite cold around this, and you were trying to make someone understand something. You were trying to make them understand how you're feeling. You're saying, no, you can't just do that. I feel really sad about it. Please don't make this decision, or something like that, or please don't say it like that. I have a lot of feelings around this still, and you need to consider my feelings. That's what I'm seeing. You need to consider how I'm feeling. And you're pushing, trying to get them to understand how you're feeling. But I think they were just very, very cold. Very, very cold around this. And you couldn't make them understand how you were feeling or what you were going through. It's very sad, very frustrating. And I think eventually you did just give up, and you just decided to move on from trying to push this to them, trying to tell them this. And but you're probably still feeling these emotions, or you were at this time, because these emotions take a long time to go away. This is a very difficult situation, and I think you knew that you might have been saying goodbye to this person, actually, and this might be the last kind of conversation, or you were sorting out something, and it was making you very emotional, and they just were not understanding. They were being very cold to you. What I'm seeing is you were very emotional, they were very cold. So it's like you were the opposites in this conversation. And there's just so much coldness around them. It's really horrible. I hate seeing it. I think, if you're still feeling like this, if you still have a lot of hurt emotions around this, which I think you might still, don't talk to them, because I don't think you're going to get the answer that you want. I don't think they're ever going to really understand your feelings. And I think if you do try and keep pushing this with this person, they're just going to make you feel as if you're rejected all over again, or you're kind of upset all over again. So don't hurt yourself. Be self-preserving. Try to talk to someone else around this situation if you need to. Don't talk to them. And I know it probably feels as if they're the one person you want to understand this. They're the one person you're trying to get through to, and talking to someone else, or kind of sharing this with someone else, would not be as satisfying for you to get this off your chest. It doesn't matter. I think if you do try to talk to this person, you'll feel even worse. Please don't do that. Talk to somebody else. Get it off your chest with somebody else, someone who cares about you, someone who you can just sit down with, a friend or someone like that. That's what I'm seeing. Now, that probably won't resonate with everyone, but I hope it gets through to some people. Don't keep trying to push this person and get them to see what you're feeling or thinking. They're not going to. That's what I'm seeing in that card. The next card you have, your past, is the Hierophant. So, again, you're going to be so much better off if you stop trying to make this person understand how you're feeling. I'm seeing that again in this card. I'm seeing this is a very inflexible person. I'm seeing they don't like to change their mind. The Hierophant can be about rules. It can be about organized religion, very set rules, right and wrong, good and bad. You can't do this, you have to do that, all of that kind of thing. They're not flexible. And I think they're being very cold. They're being very cruel towards you, actually, and that makes me really upset, actually. I really don't like that, because I have a lot of emotions. I like to try and tell people how I feel, and I really hate that kind of coldness. I really hate that you're going through this, if this is resonating with you. I don't think they're always this cold. I think they were cold at this time, but I think before that, when you knew them before, when you first met them, definitely, they weren't cold at all. But I think they changed. Now, I don't know if this is going to make sense to you, but this is what I'm seeing. They might have actually changed when someone else came into their life. I think someone could have influenced them actually to change, to become this kind of cold person, or to not be open to you anymore. It was something like that. And I think maybe when you started having problems getting through to them, that was when this person came into their life. It might be something like that. There are some monks sitting in front of this Hierophant, and they look as if they're guarding him. They're stopping anyone from getting close to him. So I think that what might have happened, someone might have been trying to come between you, and also there are 3 people in this card as well. And I really hope you're away from this person now. I really do. I'm getting a really cold feeling around them, and I think that you need to be with someone, you need to talk to someone who understands your emotions, who's going to be warm and caring and nurture you and help you get over this. That's what I'm seeing. The last card you have your past is the 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, you probably still have some hurt feelings around this. These very intense, strong feelings aren't going to go away overnight, obviously. You're still going to have a hangover from all of this for a long, long time, even if you are away from them, which I hope you are. But they are going to start to fade away. They are going to start to fade away over time. And I think at this time you're working at trying to put all of this behind you, which was a good sign. That's good. I'm glad to see that. And yeah, I'm really glad to see that you were doing that. You're usually a really stable person. You're a really strong person. And I think you were like a rock to this person at one time. And maybe they looked as if they were going to be a rock for you as well. They were going to reciprocate that. And they were going to be this open, warm, loving person who was strong, stable for you, all of those things. But it turned out to not be that way, obviously. And you had to be a rock for yourself. You had to be there for yourself. And I don't mean to be negative, but what I'm seeing in this card is, if you look at this man, it's like he's churning out all of these coins, a bit like they're on a conveyor belt, a bit like this is like a factory. They're all exactly the same. It's a bit like, they're coming out of a factory. So it's a little bit like something that isn't authentic, something that's factory made, a kind of a reproduction of something, not a genuine thing, if that makes sense. So they're not real. They're not authentic. Their feelings for you were not real, were not authentic. Maybe they were once, but along the line, especially I think when they met whoever this person was, I was seeing the Hierophant, that's when they started to kind of manufacture their feelings for you. That's when their feelings were not real. They weren't authentic. And I think you might have realised that at this time. You might not have, because I think your emotions are still going to be quite strong. They're going to be in the way of all of your feelings, especially all of your kind of your thoughts, your logical thoughts. But I think eventually you will see this if you haven't already. So the first card you have your present is the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, I'm just relieved to get out of that past. It was terrible. So you do have strength, you do have stability, and it's inside of yourself. Again, that's what I'm seeing in the 8 of Pentacles. You had to be a rock for yourself, and that's what I'm seeing here. So you have all of this inside of yourself. And I think you'll see that in time. You're probably still a bit emotional at this time. Excuse me. Oh, I just had a hiccup, I'm sorry. So yeah, you wanted to give this strength to this person when you're with them. You wanted to give your all to them. But not anymore, not now, which is really good to see. So you've moved on physically by now. You still have a lot of feelings. That, again, is going to take time to go away, and it will eventually fade. I think I'm also seeing you have some people depending on you in this card. I think you have... you definitely have one person who's depending on you. I'm seeing someone who needs you, someone who you want to take care of, someone who you need to take care of. I think this might be a vulnerable person, actually. I think you're also going through the process of lifting yourself up, rising up spiritually. This is this process of ascension that I was seeing, and I think this was in your last reading. So again, if this is resonating, when you're going through this process, it's common to start losing people, and it's common to start waking up to people as well, starting to wake up to people who aren't good for you to be around. And you wake up to inauthentic people, which is who this person was, and I think they're really showing this to you. I think you already knew this deep down, but I think this was really showing this to, or they were really showing themselves to you really, really strongly at this time. Because you are rising up spiritually, you're starting to see a lot of these things very, very clearly. You're starting to see the real person, not just inside them, but in a lot of people. That's what I'm seeing. Sometimes it's not an easy process when you have to start to kind of remove yourself from these people. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's painful. And that's what I'm seeing in that. This was one of the really, really painful ones. But yes, you're going through this process. It is painful, but it's like growing pains. You are growing through it. That's what I'm seeing. The next card you have your present is the Emperor. So yeah, there's a lot of strength in this card as well, a lot of strength in your present. You have a lot of strength inside you. I'm seeing you're saying no. I'm seeing you're putting your foot down. You might even be blocking someone, because I'm seeing someone... I'm actually seeing something being made up. I'm seeing a kind of a fantasy story being made up. Someone's kind of gossiping, or they're spreading something around. I think this is a kind of an embellished story and a fantasy version of a real event or something like that. And I think you're hearing about this, or you're reading about this on social media, or someone could be telling you something about this. This is an exaggeration. This is like, yeah, this is an embellished story. And I don't think this story is about you directly. I think this is about this person who you're caring about. This is about this vulnerable person, this person who you'd do anything for, really, I think. You were protecting them in the Queen of Pentacles. I was seeing that. And the Emperor is extremely honest. He is extremely honest. He's brutally honest, and he's forceful, and he's strong. And I think with everything you've been through, getting rid of these inauthentic people, this is the kind of behaviour, this is the kind of thing that you're not going to have any tolerance for. You just don't have any tolerance for this kind of anything that's not authentic, anything that's not real, that's not pure. And I think you're determined. You're going to be determined, if you're not already, if you haven't already been through this. You're determined to protect yourself. You're determined to protect your loved ones from anything that isn't 100% honest. And that is what the Emperor is like. And, you know, this is a start. You're protecting yourself from these kinds of things, and they're all popping up. This is what happens. All of these kind of inauthentic people, these kind of bad kinds of influences and bad energies, all start popping up when you're ascending. And it seems like a really horrible process to go through. And it's not an easy process, but you need to see them. You need to see the reality of them so that you can let them go, so that you don't have them around you anymore. You can fill your life with positivity and things that are going to be good for you. That's what you're going through. It's not easy, I know. It's very, very, very hard. But yes, you have some more things to get rid of. You do, in your future still. So you're going to have to go through more of this. I'm sorry to say, but I'm just telling you the truth. You might also have to have a lot of, or do a lot of inner work on yourself. You might even have to admit some things to yourself before you get to the end of this process. So you might have to eliminate some things that you're still hanging on to as well. I'm actually seeing you getting through this and being at your best, being kind of almost at the end of this process, probably toward the middle of the year. That's when you're going to be at your most confident, at your best, a lot happier, victorious even, feeling triumphant. But you're going to have to keep on working through all of this process before you get there. This sounds like a horrible, terrible reading. I know it does, and I can really feel it emotionally. But this is what you're getting rid of. This is what you're losing. So it's actually positive. It's actually good to be getting rid of these people and seeing them come up to the surface and noticing what they are and getting rid of them. Or that sounds quite brutal, getting rid of them. But I think you understand what I mean if you are going through this. So the last card you have for your present is the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, again, this is showing me this process is going to have a lot of ups and downs. It already is, you know that. The general trend is going up. Things are going up for you. It might not feel like it when you're going through these horrible things, but there are ups and downs. It's not going to go up in a continuous straight line, and you already know that. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is this is about, I'm seeing some money in this card. I'm seeing some money coming in for you. It's not going to come in for a while, though. I think January might be feeling a little bit lean for you, actually, a little bit difficult money-wise. I'm really sorry to say this because you're getting it from all ends. You're getting bad money things. You're getting horrible people. I'm really sorry. This is just what I'm seeing. But you are going to be, in this month, all through this month, you are going to be spending less, trying to be careful around money. I think January is a difficult time money-wise for a lot of people, actually. But don't worry about this. Don't panic or anything. There's no money loss. It's not going to be terrible. You're not going to be destitute. You're not going to have any great big expenses that are going to pop up or anything like that. I think February is going to be a lot better for you than this month. I think you'll be a lot busier next month as well. But more money is going to be coming in February. That's when it's going to happen for you. And I think it's going to be more than you've imagined. So it's going to really make up for this lean month. That's what I'm seeing. So hold out to February. Just know that it is going to get better. So the first card you have for your future is Temperance. So yeah, this is a time when you're still ascending. This beautiful angel is kind of rising up into the sky. So while you're doing that, you're finding balance. You've been really unbalanced when all these terrible kind of things have been popping up in your life, and you've been trying to kind of move on from them and trying to do all of these things and going through this process. As you rise up, you're coming back into balance, and you're doing that yourself as well. And I think you're going to be very, very careful. I think you know now at this time that you're on this path of ascension. You're determined to keep on going down this path. You're not going to let any other people put you off this path or push you off balance. Even well-meaning people, I think there are going to be some people who say, oh, come out and go to this party, go here, do this. And you're going to say to them, no, I can't. I'm trying to concentrate. I'm doing this. I'm meditating, or I'm doing this thing. I can't really do that. And you might even feel that you don't quite belong with some people anymore, some people who you used to spend a lot of time with. You might not really like the same things as them or understand the same things as them. It might be that as well. And this is what happens when you're going through this thing. I think one of these people might be interested in you romantically, actually. I think they're going to want to spend a lot of time with you. I think this is someone who you might have known for a while, actually. You have a history with this person. There might have even been a lot of passion between you in the past at one time. I think this person wants to revisit things with you. You've had some ups and downs with this person as well in the past. I think this person might be disappointed, actually. I don't think you're going to want to go back there with them. I just think there's so much moving forward with you. You're moving forward so quickly. You just don't want to go backwards. You want to go forwards. You're moving out of your old life into a new life. Now, that doesn't mean that you're getting rid of everybody. It sounds like that, but it doesn't mean that. It just means that you're really seeing everything very, very, very clearly, and you're moving up, and you're only taking people who you know are going to be alongside with you. Maybe you had a time in your past when you used to party with people, you used to enjoy certain things. Really deep down, you just don't enjoy that anymore. I'm this, I'm like that. I'll admit it, I used to like drinking. I don't really even drink very much anymore. Very occasionally I do. Maybe if I go out, I might have, some wine or something, but hardly ever anymore. I used to drink quite a lot, actually. I don't now. It's not because I'm holier than anyone else who drinks or better. I don't think I'm better than anyone. I don't. It's just that I personally don't feel like doing that anymore. I just don't have an interest in doing that anymore, especially if it's a lot. A little bit maybe every now and again if I'm celebrating or something. But I don't want to really. I'm just different than the way I used to be. And that's what you're going to be doing. And please don't think I'm saying I'm better than anyone who drinks and I'm better than anyone who smokes or whatever or does this or that. I'm not. I don't think I am. I don't think I am. I'm just saying that my personal preferences changed when I changed. That's all I'm saying. And, I think that's what's happening to you. And I think people who used to do whatever it was that you used to do that maybe you don't like doing anymore at this time, that's who you're kind of gradually moving away from. So that doesn't mean that you don't see these people anymore. You probably are, but you might not see them around those things that you used to do with them anymore. You might meet them in other ways. You might still talk to them in other ways. You might see them in their home. You might see them in another scene, but probably not around the thing that you used to do with them. I hope that makes sense with you.